Welcome and thank you for joining me on today's new adventure. Today, I am trying my hand at Mosaic, and I can't say with complete certainty, but I do not remember doing Mosaic before, so this is new to me. And if I had done it before, it would have been kindergarten or first grade at the oldest. I have this tiny memory of writing our names inside a shoebox that was filled with something that we decorated how we wanted, and I remember using some seashells, but I'm not sure if that is mosaic or what that memory is, but it's the closest thing I have. But I'm well past those years. I got 2 different mosaic kits for Christmas. One, which is what I'm primarily using, is a coaster set. The other one is for a pot, and that's where I got the tiles from. I start with sorting them into their own colors and shades so I know what I'm working with. At first, I thought I had more lavender colored tiles than I did, because in the end, I only had one, which is why I like to organize which colors I have so I can know exactly what I'm working with. It helps me feel more creative, and with everything organized, I don't have to spend time looking for something that there isn't of. So, for my coaster, I wanted to make a flower pattern. However, my lack of experience and possibly materials limited my ability to do that. Thankfully, I'm good at pivoting, and I just did a simple pattern of different colors and shades to make it interesting and fun. I chose blue and pink because I love those 2 colors a lot, and I personally think they complement each other. The instructions was just a small piece of paper, but one of the instructions was to glue down your tiles and wait 24 hours for it to dry before grouting it. So I'm doing 1 layer of color at a time to not mess up my pattern, and for my own peace of mind to not get myself unnecessarily frustrated by all the moving tiles. With complete transparency, I'm winging this. Shocking, I know. I completely look and sound like I know what I'm doing, right? But it's true. I'm just winging it, and I like patterns if I can't have my flower or tulip like I wanted. I'm happy with it considering I didn't have much of a plan, and the lavender I wanted to use, I couldn't see how I could with just one. Now, my intention was to only make 1 coaster, because even though I do like to have multiple different drinks at once, like tea and water, I do not usually do that when crafting, which is what my coaster is for. I don't usually put my drink over there unless I'm crafting, therefore I would not need multiple coasters. However, I may or may not have messed up on the water amount for the grout and panicked, which led me to decide to use another packet to dry up the water. But now I need another coaster, as I don't want to waste the extra grout. But I don't have the time to glue anything down or try to make a flower pattern because pattern and panicking. So I may or may not have carelessly placed some grout on the tile to act like the glue so I could hazardously place some tiles in a pattern because I like patterns if I can't have a design. And it may or may not remind me of the 80s unintentionally. But I'll let you guys be the judge of that. I wanted to use more of the colors, and the panic did not help with the creative flow. I like the brightness and colorfulness of it. Now with my second coaster, I decided it is my candle coaster, which I'm really happy about. First time grouting, and I would definitely need some help there. I didn't get it as evenly as I thought I would, and of course my bonus coaster is a little wonky because there was no glue to hold it properly in place. I say I did a relatively good job with my limited explanations and no experience. I was able to make functioning grout and did my best to correct an honest mistake. When I started this project, I was thinking I would only get one coaster out of it, but I got two. And a new love for Mosaic, which I will try again at some point. Whenever that is, I'm going for a design. Though my patterns are lovely, I feel the next time deserves a design. I will be getting more materials to make that happen some other time. For now, I'm really happy with my coasters, and that even with panic, I made something instead of getting upset and giving up. Mistakes happen all the time, but working with them helps you flow to happiness. Thank you for joining me once again. Take care, and I wish you the happiness in trying. Bye for now.